Hi, I'm Angie Kellen, and this is Shot Talk with Aki Fujimura. Aki is the CEO of D2S, and D2S is the managing company sponsor of the eBeam initiative. Hello, Aki.
Hi, Angie.
Do I understand that correctly, that you had a birthday?
Yeah, I'm too old to have a happy birthday now, but D2S is now 10 years old. Pretty amazing. It's been a long road, but just like, humans become self-aware at some point, we become self-aware and we know who we are now. We're a GPU acceleration company, and we specifically do GPU acceleration for the semiconductor manufacturing industry. We've gotten pretty good with our infrastructure now, to the point where we've delivered 4 software products and 2 computational design platforms in the last 3 years. And we intend to keep up that pace for the coming years too. So it's all thanks to you, and we appreciate your support. GPU acceleration is not really just about D2S or semiconductor manufacturing or design even. It's a worldwide technology trend. NVIDIA, the company that's leading that, has seen its valuation go up from $18 billion in the beginning of 2016 to now it's over $88 billion. Their company valuation has gone up by $70 billion over this time, and pretty amazing. And that's obviously not because teenagers suddenly discovered gaming, right? And it's all because of high performance computing with professional image processing, like medical image processing, or simulation-based things for again, professional scientific computing, and most of all about deep learning, and specifically the combination of image processing and deep learning, which is autonomous driving. So all of that is a tremendous thing. Specifically in our field, in semiconductor design and manufacturing, image processing and simulation-based capabilities and also deep learning are all important trends. So GPU acceleration is tremendously important for us. I personally believe that everybody is going to be doing GPU acceleration very soon. But at least for the time being, D2S, I think, is uniquely positioned and is doing well because of that. So thank you for your support.
Well, congratulations on that.
Yeah.
And as the GPU expert, it makes sense to me that GPU was created for image processing, but why is it so good for simulation?
Yeah, for simulation of nature is all about single instruction, multiple data, right? Same instruction acting on many data. GPU is exactly a SIMD machine. It has thousands of cores in it now, and each core has different data, but is executing the same stuff. And that's exactly how nature works. There isn't a single, coordinating body. I mean, depending on your beliefs, you might think that there might be divine intervention, but that's outside the scope of any simulation of nature. So in simulation of nature itself, you have individual things, this piece of a molecule, this molecule, they all act differently over different time, but it's because of data differences. It's all doing the same physics, same chemistry, same math, right? So that's exactly why. Simulation is naturally SIMD, and GPU is great at SIMD computation.
Let's talk about deep learning. Now, I know at Photomask Japan in April, there was a keynote speaker from NVIDIA, and he covered this.
Yeah, the organizers of PMJ did a really great job. this conference. And they started with a keynote speaker from Dr. Baji from NVIDIA Japan. And he talked about the history of NVIDIA starting with gaming and going into professional computing with high performance computing. And then he finished the talk with autonomous driving. And the video of a car being driven completely by itself over highways and country roads and city roads, and it was quite amazing.
Well, we're certainly living in some very interesting times, right, Aki? So what else happened at PMJ?
Yeah, so we were able to follow Dr. Baji's great talk with 6 papers that related the use of GPU into specifically the mask making community. We had a talk from Nakayamada-san of New Flare talking about the use of machine learning techniques for mask making. And then we had D2S talk about geometric verification, model-based mask making, MPC, and also talked about modeling with GPU acceleration and allowing it to be more accurate. Ryan Perman of D2S talks about that in another video in this edition of this video journal. We had, after that, D2S and New Flare gave 2 different talks. One was on the latest generation variable shape beam machine, VSB machine, the eBeam 9500, that contains thermal effect correction capability with GPU acceleration. But there's a particular advanced form of that that we discovered, and we discussed that. And then we had the world premiere of the pixel level dose correction PLDC capability that's a standard part of every NBM 1000 New Flare's multi-beam machine.
Well, that sounds very interesting. So maybe you can tell me what PLDC does.
Yeah, okay. PLDC, pixel level dose correction, is it's the first of its kind. It's the first time that a mask writer, or actually any kind of writer, has embedded a short-range correction inline, real time in the machine. So what it does is it corrects for between 10 nanometer to 10 micron effect with a complete generality, being able to correct for even curvilinear shapes using a point spread function, a general PSF function. It can be a combination of Gaussians, but any general form. So it's very, very powerful capability that takes advantage of the fact that multi-beam machines can manipulate each individual, in New Flare's case, 10 nanometer pixels. And therefore, it gives an opportunity to software people like us to be able to manipulate those pixels to enhance the image. Printability gets enhanced, linearity gets enhanced, CD uniformity, critical dimension uniformity gets enhanced, and so does line edge roughness. So in every way, the output of the mask writer is enhanced, and all of this is done in line. So therefore, there is no impact, no negative impact on mask turnaround time. So we think this is a very exciting capability.
So it's one of its kind. Now, doesn't that level of data manipulation need a big machine?
Yeah, it does. D2S also announced at PMJ the 5th generation computational design platform. It has 888 teraflops, almost petaflop of computing power, and it's powered by the Pascal generation of the NVIDIA GPUs.
Let's turn back to the conference quickly and talk about, did you get any insight on EUV, nanoimprint lithography, multi-beam, or DSA?
Yeah, I did. Multi-beam is definitely is happening. I think there will be a high volume production part being produced by a mask shop by the end of this year, probably. And so that's definitely happening for sure. It felt like DSA lost a little bit of momentum, and I think it's still promising, but I'm not sure for what reason. It seems like maybe EUV and nanoimprint have a higher pace of momentum. Nanoimprint is good for memories, and it needs to be a design that's resilient to defects. But so EUV is the great hope out there. But there was a great organization by the PMJ committee again. On the last day, there was a panel session that discussed which one is likely to be in high volume production first. And then they had the audience vote on which one the audience thought was going to happen first, and they voted, but it was in Japan, right? So there was a fan, fan with one side saying EUV, the other side being NIL, nanoimprint lithography, and the audience ended up voting for EUV in the end. I personally voted for nanoimprint, but really, I had noted earlier in the conference that I think multi-beam mask writing definitely first, but it's possible that autonomous driving is going to beat both EUV and nanoimprint into a high volume production. And in deep learning, once something starts learning, it goes really, really fast. Just like a 3-year-old learns incredibly fast, or 3-month-old kittens, learn incredibly fast because they have nothing better to do, right? They have no distractions. All they do is to learn, and they're so curious. They just keep learning. Well, they have to sleep. Machines don't, right? So once they start learning, it's going to happen really fast.
Well, and we do like our sleep, of course, so there's a big difference there. Well, it looks like the battle continues to rage on, right? So we're going to see a lot of interesting things coming up here at SPIE Photomask, Bacchus for some of us that like to refer to it. And this year, of course, is coming back to Monterey in September. So what are you looking forward to?
Yeah, we have the annual eBeam Initiative survey results that are going to be unveiled at the conference, and I really look forward to this one. And we have the annual eBeam Initiative event on September 11th, kind of a easy day to remember, I guess, at 5 p.m. So look forward to seeing you there.
Great. Well, we look forward to that as well, and I want to thank you so much for your time today, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you, Aki.
Thank you, Angie.
And thank you for joining us. We hope you'll join us again for future editions of the Fine Line Video Journal.